What's up, guys? How is everyone doing? I'm Dave Van Auken, Felicia Spencer back in the building. It's like becoming like the number one, little segment here on Fight Bananas. Felicia Spencer's Fee-Nomenal fighter of the card. Fee, how are you doing? First and foremost.
I'm doing really well. Might even have some news of my own coming soon, so I'll be excited to share that with you when I can, if I can.
Okay, because it has been interesting. Every time I see a Miami thing getting carded, I see you sharing it on your stories and other people's stories. So I hear maybe Masvidal needs a co-main event person. So I don't know, just throwing it out there maybe.
That would be ideal. Yeah, I'm like just trying to put their wishes into fruition. Like, come on,
There you go.
come on, Masvidal, you can do it. You can do it. Get me on there.
Sometimes that's all we can do. I do want to say, so the month of January into February, you had like the greatest run ever. So then I decided to take out everything I've ever worked for, everything my twins. I took out their clothes. I put it all on the line with Mallory Martin. So if is it okay if we bring the whole family? We can stay with you for a couple weeks. We have a tough budget at the house right now.
I guess I have that one coming.
You've been it's been, I hate saying the name over and over again. You have been phenomenal on the picks. I kind of forgot. So it was Max Holloway was your first pick, and that was like the fight of the performance of the year. And like I said, you had Mike Davis, you had Poirier, you had such a great run. So it's the fight game. It is anything can happen.
It was like a jaw dropper too. Like I think everyone, even if you thought Pollyanna was going to win, it was like, oh wow, she did awesome. Like she really rocked it. Like she went in and killed it. So, can't be too mad. Like Mallory, I think is still game, but yeah, she just had a number that for that moment, so it happens.
Yeah, like the whole card was like that a little bit too. A lot of people like Macy Barber in the co-main event. She lost. Like a trendy in the media and the betting. A lot of people liked Ian Heinisch in that featured bout against Kevin Gass. He lost. And then a lot of people were trying to be super trendy and pick Gilbert Burns to defeat Usman. That didn't happen. So, hey, it's one of those things. It's the fight game. But Usman looked phenomenal. It was incredible, his performance. He's so much levels above, the best welterweights in the world. It's pretty incredible.
It really is. It's interesting to see some of the things that he does differently than other people, and like maybe we can learn a thing or two, from just watching each other and see what makes someone different, makes them better in some ways. So.
Right, and we're just kind of, hey, we're rolling with this, so we'll roll with it. Is one thing, and I heard it on a different podcast, and I really like, because usually, and you might be able to like, yeah, it's true, when a wrestler or a good grappler gets hit or rocked, they kind of go to it right away. It's kind of like the thing you can see. I remember what Connor did that with Diaz. Like you get rocked and you kind of go into that wrestling mode. You just kind of want to get it off the feet a little because you don't want to get rocked again. And when Usman got rocked, like he didn't go that route. Like he kind of like went back and kind of stood up. And like it seemed like he never wanted to go to the ground with Gilbert, like ever. And it was just like, Gilbert was dominating the first round standing up, and Usman's like, no, I'm going to beat him standing up with my jab. It was just one of those incredible performances.
Yeah, and a lot of it I think is like about reps because, like Usman, he might have started out more wrestling based, but it looks like he got the reps in to where when things aren't going the way you expect, like he's not falling into like his routine of wrestling. He's got the reps now where now striking is natural and all that. So I think that's really what it comes down to a lot of the time is just like having the experience and the time in practicing one thing, two things, and then moving on. So
yeah, no, absolutely true.
And on the same card, you see the same thing happen with Rodolfo. He got hit and then the gas tank is affected so much because he maybe doesn't have the same reps in that like Usman has, you know what I mean? So there's so many things that play into it, but that's a really good example, like one fight to the next fight, like how the reps matter. So.
No, that's a great point. That's a really, really good point. Okay, so there we go. That's a little bit of fun stuff, and I can't wait to talk to you about the fight news coming up. But we got UFC Vegas this week. We're back in the Apex, back in Las Vegas. Curtis Blaydes and Derek Lewis in the main event. Curtis Blaydes is a humongous favorite, and maybe should be, but I almost do feel that Derek Lewis is being a little disrespected in this matchup. He's fought the toughest guys in the division, the toughest guys. I'm so intrigued. And like we talked off air about it, there's so many fights on this card. I think it's 14 or 15 fight card deep. Charles Rose is on the card. Violent Bob Ross is on it. Arlovsky's on it, a legend in the sport. Casey O'Neill, the King Casey, she's making her debut for the promotion. So many great fights and fighters. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. We're going bananas waiting for it. Who is Felicia Spencer's Fee-Nomenal pick of UFC Vegas 19?
So as usual, I have to sidetrack first, and obviously the main event is very interesting, and probably the fight that is like probably going to be the toughest to pick for would be Bob Ross and Drakkar Klose. I think they're both super talented, like up and coming, and like, man, like who knows? We haven't seen like a lot from either of them. So
right.
As far as like having high level matchups, so this is like a really big moment for both of them, I think. But my phenomenal pick is going to go to Alexei Oleinik, and I pick him for a couple of reasons. One, I always go for the underdog, which he is actually the underdog in this matchup. So I think there's a chance that you could make a little bit of money, even though Dawkins is really dangerous. You can never really count out Oleinik. I mean, he's like 43 years old. He's still, win loss in the UFC. So he's not like on a big win streak, but he's never really on a down streak either. So it's kind of hard to ever count him out. And I think he's always dangerous. He's got a really long reach. He's got that grappling base. So if he can hold on to you, it's a tough story, a tough night for you. So it'll be an interesting fight to watch, though.
Absolutely. I almost dislike doing this. I 100% agree. He's one of the guys on the card. I have it circled. I always go through the cards. We have our fight breakdowns. We actually have one coming out tonight. Aaron, he loves making picks and making betting picks. And him and I talked off air, and he's like the guy on the card we love the most. He's like around plus 175 money wise, and he's just. I love veteranship, especially in the cage. The guy he's fighting, Dawkins, he's been around. He's not like he's a rookie, but this is his third UFC fight, and I think this is a huge jump up for him. When it's hard to make that first jump up into, you're on the main card, you're fighting such a savvy vet, and I feel like he can win in multiple ways, like you said. I feel a submission on his back, a guillotine. He can maybe win with using the jab. He can win with an overhand right. I think he can win in 4 or 5 different ways. I love that pick. That's a really good one.
Good. I'm glad we agree. Maybe don't put the house on it, though. It's a tough card to pick for.
It is, but that's what happens with bettors. When you lose a little bit, then we have to like double down. I'm calling my bookie. I'm like, hey, everything I lost on the kids, the $28,000, my second car, I'm going to double it down on it to try to break even now, right? That's the game plan for bettors.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, but I'm hoping for my win streak to start up again and seeing how that goes.
Well, sounds good. Well, Felicia, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time every week. I think this has been 5 weeks in a row. We're rolling. Can't wait to talk to you next week. Another heavyweight main event, UFC Vegas 20. And then the week after that, a really big UFC card, triple title fights. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson's on the card. So I know you will definitely be interested in that. So much. Hopefully everything is good with you and yours. And can't wait to talk about the fight news soon.
Yeah, see you guys next week. I'm excited.
Sounds good. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.